Hello and welcome back to Alfonso's phone collection with my phone collection update for July, sorry about that, 2023. I have, I have over 125 phones, and I have them all arranged from smartphones, dumb phones, tablets, and consoles. This is gonna be epic, so let's begin. I charged most of these, so expecting a few of these to be dead or low on batteries. Anyway, let's start with this one here, the Weco You Feel works. Here's a Huawei Wi-Fi works. Here's an LG Leon, also works. Here's a Huawei PLI 2017, this one works, but it's dead. It has a bad battery, doesn't even last 10 minutes, sadly. Might buy replacement battery for it though. Here's a Nokia Lumia 610, works. Here's a Nokia 5800, this one works but has no battery. Samsung Galaxy Phone Dual Brazilian phone, works but it's dead. Here's an i9, this one here is untested, got a surprise from one of my classmates. I also want this is one of the new additions to the collection. Here's an Alcatel Pop C1 works. Here's a Huawei Ascent Y530. Here's a Bluetooth D1. This one now works, water damaged. I finally have to tape over because of that huge crack here. Here's Nokia N-Gage, works but doesn't have a battery in it. Here's an iPhone 4 works, but I can't set it up. Here's a Weco phone about Lite Sync Slime. Here's another Nokia 1500. This one works, but has no battery in it. Here's a Lake New York phone, doesn't work. Here's a Vodafone 875 works. Here's some blue Samsung, I forgot it, but it's bricked. I leave Galaxy Young 2. Here's a Huawei Ascent XM, that's now insanely cracked. And red light of death doesn't work. Here's an LG L5 works. I bypassed the Google lock. It's dead, so I cannot show you that it works. Let me shut off this one. Here's an elephant works, but it's dead, and this one works, but it is dead, and it hasn't got charged in about 5 months, which sucks. Here's a Nokia 5530 works. I think this one's also dead. Here's a Samsung Galaxy Core Plus works. Here's another one of the new additions. This is Huawei P9 Lite Mini. This one works, but it's dead. Here's a BlackBerry 8900. This one works, but it's dead. Also has the charging in 5 months as well. Here's a LG Optimus L4. This one's food looping right now. Here's also one of the new additions. This is an Alcatel Pop C1. Moving on to dumb phones here, starting with my Nokia 1600 works. Here's one of my two Samsung Galaxy Core Plus and my two Samsung Core XTs. This one works. Here's one of the phones that I got in the fun lot. This is a Nokia C2. Here's a Nokia 5110. A pretty nice phone from 1998 and works. Here's Samsung Galaxy. Here's Samsung E107 works. Here's a Nokia 3310. I got more SIM cards. Here's a Nokia 120. Not Nokia 120. And a Samsung E120. I got in the lot as well. I got in the phone lot that I got for €3 in my local shop near me. Here's my Siemens Z50. Let me just put my passcode. Here's the Nokia 6280. This works, but if I slide up, it stays like this. I don't know what happened. But it still works. Here's a phone of the new editions. This is a Nokia 2330 Classic on TMN. Got it from a classmate. It was also an unexpected phone. I wasn't expecting to get it, but it's nice to have it. Here's an Alcatel 146G. Here's a tiny telephone. Here's one of the new additions. This is the Samsung Star. Got as a surprise from for the same classmate. I got this phone here. It looks like the Samsung Omnia, but nope. It looks similar though. Here's a comfortable one that easy works. Here's one of the new additions. This is the Samsung Monte slider. Let me shut off this one because I heard it tying. Never mind, let's shut it off. I turned off this here. Here's the Samsung G1 120. This works, but doesn't have a battery in it. Here's a Movicom G145. This one was never released. I also got in the lot. It's untested. Here's the one, my two Bosch GSM 509s, untested. Here's a Huawei G6. One of my two works. I think nope, not dead, but I'll shut it off because of bar battery. Here's a Philips Sega, doesn't work. Don't know what's wrong with it. Here's Samsung S180. This one works but has no batteries. It's dead. Here's the Samsung Chat 222. This one's locked. Sorry about the noises. Anyway, Wiko F100 works. And no, not dead. Surprising, I remember that. Here's Sony Ericsson V800 on Vodafone, untested. The V stands for Vodafone. In fact, here's a Nokia N80 works. Here's the Sony Ericsson T280i. This one works, but doesn't have a battery in it. Here's one of the new additions. This is an LG Shine. Got it as a surprise from the same classmate. I got this phone and this phone untested. Here's another Samsung Kirby XT. This one works but doesn't have a battery in it. Here's another new phone that I got, also from the new editions. This is a Siemens Gigaset, my second Siemens collection. It works. Here's a Motorola V50, also one of the new editions, untested. I don't have the battery for it. Nokia 6610i. It does work. Uses the battery from a phone that you'll see. Here's an Acer G520, untested. I've had it for a little over 2 years. Here's an Ericsson T10s. This one's untested. Had it for a year. Same with this. Here the Ericsson J628. This one I had for a little over 2 years. This is an Ericsson T20. Had it for a while. Really wanted to get a charger for this thing. Yeah, I use the same charger as the V800. I was wrong. This wasn't the charger. This here is. Here's a Lite GM. I've forgotten, but it's untested. Had it for a while as well. Here's a Nokia 3210. This one doesn't work. Here's an Alcatel OTE265, works. Here's some sort of Nokia phone, I believe 1208, works but doesn't have a battery in it. Here's a Nokia 11, one of my 3 Nokia's 1100s. This one here is on Telcel. I got this one in the phone lot. It works but doesn't have a battery in it. If I remember correctly, I believe this was the 3rd Nokia 1100 I have in the collection. Here's the Nokia 6020. This one works but doesn't have a battery in it. Was the first one I've tested. my collection. Yeah, you may think was the Wiko Synclam and Nokia Engage, but they were both already tested when I got them. The Wiko Synclam was at 1%, and the Nokia Engage had some charge because the original owner before he gave me that one tested it. Anyway, here's my Samsung SGH C140. I had it for a while. Works, but doesn't have a battery in it. Here's another Nokia 3310. This one doesn't work. Here's a Nokia 3410. This one does not have a battery in it. Yeah, I may notice some of those lines have Nokias and Samsungs because what I have most of my collection are Nokias and Samsungs. Yeah, Nokias is what I have most, and Samsung is the second thing I have most. Here's my Sharp X29 untested. Here's some sort of. Here's a ZT Cine. This one does not have a battery but works. It looks similar to my Samsung Star. Here's another Nokia 3410. This one works but doesn't have a battery. I put battery and SIM card from this one into this one here. Here's a Nokia C205. This one does not have a battery but it works. Here's the Motorola C139. This one doesn't work. I mean, actually don't know if it works or not. It's untested. Here's a Motorola Flare. I've had it for a little while. It's untested. Motorola Razr 1.2. This one does not have a battery in it, but it works. Here's another phone from the new editions. This is a Nokia 8310. This one works, but only on a charger. The battery from this one goes into the 6610i. Here's a Nokia 3650. This one does not have a battery, but it works. Here's Alcatel 800. This one doesn't work. Here's a Motorola V980. This one's untested. I had it for a while as well. Here's the last phone from the new editions. I think that's the last phone of the new editions. This is a Samsung SGH C270. It works. Here's an Alcatel 800. I said Alcatel Touch Max. Sorry about that. This one does not have a battery, but it works. Here's another Nokia 1100. This one's on Tiamat. This one works, but doesn't have a battery in it. Here's some sort of Jatsu phone to cover plus, but it's untested. I don't know if it's Jatsu phone. Here's a Motorola U6. This one is dead. It works. It hasn't a charge in a year actually. Yeah, my working. Yeah, so Razer did not get a charge for close a year, I think. The U6 didn't get charged for a year, and the Motorola Razer didn't get charged for I believe 5.5 months. 5 months and a half. Here's another one which is 6. This one does not have a battery in it. Here's a Nokia 3100. This one works. That just needs a power button. I think I made this one awake. Here's a Siemens Sharp X17. I think I already showed that one, but it's untested. Here's the Motorola W375, which I have for 2 years. Works, but said it hasn't a charge in 5 months and a half. Here's a Lite GM711. This one's untested. I also had for 2 years. Here's a Nokia 100, one of my two. Here's a LG L3100. This one works, but doesn't have a battery in it. Here's a Sony Ericsson G120i, no battery, but it works. Here's a Alcatel Touch 308, no battery, but also works. I apologize for that again. Here's a Nokia, forgot, but I believe 7360. Works, but doesn't have a battery in it. Here's a Sony Ericsson Quickshare. This one's dead, but it works. Here's the Nokia 7070. Works, but has no LCD like Huawei's. Here's a ZT GX760 Hello Kitty phone. This works, but the battery got bloated, so I threw it out. Here's a Nokia 2600 Classic, also got in the lot. Here's another Razer. This one's dead. I made the Alcatel 146G awake. Here's the Nokia 112. This one does not have a battery, but it works. Same with this here Nokia 112 on foot phone. That's another one. I put the battery from this one in this one here. Here's Sony Ericsson W205. This one's untested. Here's a Nokia 100, another one. Here's a Nokia 2680S. Got it in the lot. Got it in the phone lot that I got for €3. Same with this here Alcatel 1066G. This one's pretty dirty inside. Here's a Nokia 7110. This one works, but has a battery that only works on charger, but still got to turn on again by using the battery from Nokia 5110. Here's one of my two Nokia C1 Here's the last Nokia 1100. This one I don't have the carrier. It's not have a battery, but it works. Here's a Siemens G65 untested. Here's Bosch, another Bosch GSM509 untested. Here's a Samsung SGHX 480. This one's untested. Here's another Nokia C101. This one doesn't work. Here's a Motorola V50. This one doesn't work. Here's a Nokia TMN EZ10. Here's an Alcatel Monte EZDB. Not saying to the rest if they're untested or not, but this one's untested. This one works, but doesn't have battery in it. This one doesn't work. Here's a Hydrogen Global Handy. Here's an Alcatel One Touch Easy. They're both untested. Here's a Nokia 2760. This one works, but the battery's not working it anymore. Here's a Nokia 6080. This one works, but doesn't have a battery in it. Here's an Alcatel One Touch Max, another one untested. Here's an Alcatel Touch 255. Works but has no battery. Same with this here. Last but not least for the dumb phones, Sony Ericsson Yando. Moving on to tablets and consoles, I have a Slackline tablet. Works but the battery drains so fast. Same with this Kelf tablet. Two Easter tablets, they're both dead. And I have two consoles here. They both work but they're both dead. So now let's unlock these devices. So that's my phone collection update for July 2023.